Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Underrail Expedition. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today in the Forge. We're in the Forge right now, or Foundry rather, and we're underneath the level that we first accessed over here. This is multiple levels, and there's people going about. These prisoners don't get their food for free, you know. They'll be back in the mine as soon as it gets reopened. Yeah, mining that food. That's good. It's good. We got a barrel over here with bad things. We got a door over there. Can I go in? I haven't fired my gun in who knows how long. Oh, I can't go in. I thought the game blocked me from going in. I just had clicked on the wrong square. I thought I clicked over there, and apparently I clicked over here. So you can go over here and check things out. And there's a bunch of turrets. Should have known. Let's look around. Greetings, says the sniper. And we have Delma in here. Do we actually have missions here in, where? I don't have missions in the Foundry? Interesting. So all these are stealable. The desk too. A middle-aged woman wearing gleaming metal armor gets up from behind her desk and stands up to meet her guest. She looks at you, lifting her slightly wrinkled eyelids to reveal experienced eyes that haven't lost much intensity since her younger days. Her voice, on the other hand, is already one step inside the grave, for it is heavy and low-pitched, and that's the pollution. We have found this before. The bearded guy that we found before was like that, sounding as if there is some weight on her vocal cords, which pushes the voice down into the low range. "Good day, madam. My name's Delma Ward, and I'm the warden of Foundry Prison. Who might you be?" "I'm Carrie. It's a pleasure to meet you." "Well, Carrie, what can I do to help you?" "What can you tell me about this place?" "You mean the Foundry? Well, I don't know, chica. I'm a prison warden, and most of the time I'm making sure murderers, thieves, and other criminals stay locked up or do their community service. It's always the bad side of Foundry I see and deal with on a daily basis. On the other hand, if you ask the miners the same question, they'll tell you about the injury and death in the mine and dangers of working there, especially now with the infestation of some very, very aggressive creatures. That's life in Foundry from their perspective. Hell, that sounds depressing." And she smiles. "There are positive sides too. The mining business brings in a lot of money and goods, and the Foundry is one of the safest places to live in the South Underrail, thanks to the Foundry Guard. So there's a lot of positives too." "What can you tell me about this place?" "You mean the Foundry?" "Yep. It's weird, because the answers last for so long I forget which ones I chose. I see you like growing flowers." "Yeah, there's flowers back there. Maybe growing is a... I don't know if they're growing or not. Or she likes... Anyway." Yes, I do. What do you think of them?" "Oh, they're beautiful. Flowers are rare in general, also impossible in the underground, let alone as exquisite as these, but it's magic. It's probably magic." "Thank you very much. I find it very relaxing to have flowers in the office, chica. When I feel the need to unwind, I sit down and observe them in all their beauty. I enjoy the wonderful colors that are missing from the world around us. I simply watch them in silence. Nothing else. My works of art." And she smiles, briefly. "And during that time, while I'm relaxing in my office, all is well. And then someone brings in a guy who killed his brother with a jackhammer. A signal it's time to get back to work. I swear people just get more and more violent these days." "It must be the faceless that are attacking or something. Makes them jittery or something. So, do you know anything about those mine creatures?" Well, the Foundry Guard is on high alert right now because of those things." "Interesting. I've been adding the before Foundry Guard, but sometimes it doesn't appear. This time it did. I'm pretty sure it should be the Foundry Guard and always the Foundry. Even if Foundry is the name of the city, or it's a city, you still wouldn't say like, "Oh, welcome to New York City," and you wouldn't just switch New York City for Foundry. You wouldn't say welcome to Foundry. Although it does work, it's just sort of weird. So I guess welcome to the Foundry, even though it is the name, would work better. I wonder if there's a city name. Probably American city, or English city, I suppose, or British, that I would know about. Yeah, you can do that, like Cotswolds, for example. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right. I've never seen it written, and I wouldn't even know how to read it if I saw it, because it's an English name or British name anyway. And so the Cotswolds, that's a land. It's like a region. and you... Yeah, I guess regions work differently than cities do in English. I don't know. Anyway. Apparently, miners came in contact with some unknown species of violent creatures, and for safety reasons the mine has been temporarily closed. My advice to you, Chica, would be to avoid going near the mine and to generally stay close to armed personnel until the situation has been resolved. There have been reports of violent killings in the residential area, and creatures could be responsible. Eyes open, got it? Sure. What can you tell me about this prison? This prison is so secure, no one has ever managed to escape from here. No one even tried. Everyone knows how any such attempts will end. Well, there was a riot several years ago. Unsuccessful, of course, but other than that, nothing. Foundry prides itself with being a station of justice. All prisoners go through fair trial, something which is rarely performed nowadays, Chica. Usually it's, "You seem guilty. Boom. Next, please." Sad but true. Those who end up here usually do community service, which includes mining and other types of work. Can you tell me more about these community services? Sure I can, Chica. All prisoners are required to perform community service jobs. Since the foundry revolves around mining, all who are physically capable of such work are sent to the mine. It's like a regular job, only you get paid less. Actually, you don't get paid at all, so it's like slavery, only we don't call it that. Those who are not able to work inside the mine will find themselves... Or rather, we find something for them. It all depends on their previous skills, physical fitness, and other factors. As all is well, except for the slaves, of course, we never have problems with prisoners outside of the prison, considering they wouldn't be prisoners. How does that work? What? If you're outside the prison, you're, by definition, not a prisoner. There's a different... Yeah. That's how English works. It's complicated because different languages will call different things, and of course, tradition and legal systems will change definitions. So a prisoner is specifically somebody who is in prison. But like in English, in America anyway, there's a distinction between prison and jail. And it's very confusing to me, also because I've never been to either of those myself here in Portugal, but also because I don't know that exists, that distinction here in Portugal. I think you just go to prison. Or you don't go to jail at all, or there's no... detention, as it is. But there is such a thing as jail, being jailed. So if you're in jail, you are the same thing as a prisoner, is just sort of a captive, a recluse. I don't know the word that it's called. That's why I'm talking about this whole story, because but that's what she means. We have problems with recluses outside of prison. That's the word that I'm trying to say. This the same word that applies to people who are in jail and people who are in prison. They are not prisoners. At least not in American English anyway. Anyway, it doesn't matter because this is not made by Americans and we're not in America, but still, it's weird. They wouldn't be prisoners because they're not in prison. They know they couldn't outsmart and escape the foundry guard anyway, so no one even bothered trying, except for the thing that I talked about. Her dialogue, she's very conflicted. She doesn't think much. She looks at the flowers. So her dialogue is all over the place. Let's not talk to her, otherwise she's going to be like, "No, my life is a lie." Okay, I can't... Ah! Okay, let's save. The security camera right there. Oh, lockpicking. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to open that. Yeah, so this is the prison. I thought we were in the slums. 'Cause there's slums around here. They said that they were closed. So we came from there already. And we have another passage here, don't we? Oh, yeah. Do we? Well, it didn't come in here. Oh, it's the mayor. Sure. So that one... Oh, I can go in through there. Great. Yeah, I don't know... There's a foundry gunner over here. Maybe it's the ladders that I messed with. Let's have a chat with the mayor here and see what's up. Because I marked this as having a passage. A pair of frowning eyes track you as you make your approach. Before you is a thin, short man wearing a well-made leather vest with finely polished shoulder pads cast out of metal, and his coal-black gloves, leather boots, and pants seem to be of the same high quality. He addresses you with a tone of voice appropriate to his displeased expression. What is the meaning of this? Who are you? Actually, it doesn't really matter anyway. We're busy, so if you could please leave to our discussion, we should really appreciate it. Oh, I apologize for disturbing you, but I need to ask you a couple of questions. Are you the mayor of this place? He briefly exchanges looks with the man standing next to him. Yeah, I see where this is headed. Fine. I'm Martin Marshall, and you're right, I am the mayor of the foundry. The gentleman next to me is Chief, Chief Dalton Banner of the Foundry Guard. Oh, then gentleman with an A. The chief's appearance is quite the opposite of the mayor's, as he is both taller and wider-shouldered, and his mere presence you felt the instant you entered the room. Yet, despite his imposing image, his calm and collected behavior is in contrasts to the mayor's so far feverish temperament. Thus, the chief politely nods after having been introduced. Well, then, who are you? I'm Carrie. Pleased to meet you both. Carrie. That's well and good indeed. Now that we're properly introduced, unless you have something of utmost importance to tell us, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Yeah, I heard you have problems with the mind creatures. Is there anything I can do to help? Yeah, I'm sure you did. But please, let me tell you something. Foundry is one of the richest and best defended stations in lower Underrail. We have so many well-trained and well-armed men and women to take on anyone who tries to disturb us. Yeah, you wouldn't even know. Why would we need your help? Well, maybe you people are not as tough as you think. If you were, you wouldn't have had this problem taken care of by now. Or we would have, rather. And maybe I'm the woman that can do just that for you. I offered my help. You want it? Good. You don't? Your loss. After carefully listening to you, he responds in an unexpectedly calm manner. If you really are so keen on helping us, Gary, then why not give you a chance? You do have energy. All right. As you know, unless you've been living in the most remote cave unknown to humanity, or known and unknown to humanity, the Foundry, is the largest exporter of iron in the lower Underrail. What's even better is that our mine is rich not just in iron, but aluminum, titanium, and recently chromium. We discovered large amounts of it several months ago in the form of chromite ore. Needless to say, as soon as we discovered it, our miners began following the chromite veins, and so a few weeks ago they mined into a new cavern and encountered the very creatures you mentioned. What they saw there was unlike anything that we have ever seen or heard before, even. These beings had shells made of rock, with metallic blades protruding from their backs. Yeah, you heard me right. Shells made of rock. The creatures were aggressive, and we had to bring in the Foundry Guard to deal with them. Now, those creatures, while resilient, were still no match for our brave troops. The true problem revealed itself when the guards encountered the Beast. The Beast? Yeah. That thing may look like its smaller siblings, but it is in fact a four-legged boulder, a huge monster which stopped the Foundry Guard dead in its tracks. Meanwhile, it is unstoppable, and the guardsmen tried nearly everything. They shot it, burned it, threw grenades at it, nothing. It's hard rock. Most of the men sent to clear the mine are now dead, and I've had no other options but to order the closing of the mine. This problem will be hurting the Foundry really fast if we don't find a way to deal with those things. We have days, a week at most, before we run out of ore supplies, after which all production will stop. Yeah, I'm feeling very confident about this, because I'm a scion, so I can just do whatever. I can probably get through their carapace, no problem. Except burning doesn't work. Electricity might. Anyway, what can I do to help? We need a solution to this problem, and we would appreciate it if you could help us find one. At one point, we considered using explosives to collapse the tunnel and seal them off. But our mining supervisor advised us against it. What's worse, even though things have been a bit quieter in the mines for a few days now, the rock creatures are emerging from the mines and attacking our citizens. Even though all entrances to the mine are heavily guarded, some people still have gone missing. Mind if I interrupt you for a second, sir? Says Chief. Not at all, Chief, not at all. I was almost done anyway, go ahead. As you see, young lady, this is a problem which could, if left unsolved, mean the end of Foundry. The mine does not only feed the mouths of these people here, but also secures their protection. Do you think the Foundry Guard operates solely on goodwill? If you really want to help us, my suggestion is that you first speak with the only survivor from the unit that was tasked with clearing the mine. He knows more about the creatures than any one of us. His name is Saban Mulov, and you can find him at the mine entrance with the other guards. That is just to the east of Metalworks. The Metalworks, anyway. Why didn't you relieve him of duty, though? I think he deserves some rest after what he's been through. I discussed that with him, but he was adamant about staying in service. He asked to be posted right at the mine entrance, the first line of defense. Brave man, no doubt, and a fine example to other guardsmen. Got it. Is that all? Nearly. You might also want to speak to Marcos Banti. He's our mining supervisor. You'll also find him at the mine entrance. He did advise us against collapsing that part of the mine with explosives. But talk to him again. Perhaps you could work out some solution to the problem. I believe we've gone through everything. Okay, I'm on the job. Well, and good. Now, go now and report to us once you have something. Oh. And I think now we have a quest. Many quests. Really interesting. That said... No, yeah, that definitely is very interesting because it sets up the whole... not dynamic, what's the word? Sort of dilemma for the thing and why it's dangerous. Yeah, that's really cool. I wish we had that dialogue right at the beginning. That was I wish there were the intro to the city, because that, or the introduction, you know, so we'd have a little bit better understanding of what's going on, and also a mission right away, which, yeah, still it works very well. We knew sort of more or less anyway what was going on. I'm just trying to figure out if I indeed missed something. I don't think I did, so we're gonna go this way, and as you can see, I don't have any passages left. We do have passages over here, and in fact, that little mark there with a passage was probably just me forgetting. I marked the way down rather than anything else. So, not that I know where we're going, mind you. That commoner over there is the worst. Can't go into any of these. We have that one right there. We have that one, which is where we came from. And then we could have something back here. There's a little bit of a gate over there, but I don't think that's anything. This is probably where the slums are. Because well, because this is where they told us that we were close to the slums. So we have Mr. Bum and Mr. Bum.
Boo! Gotcha!
Oh, I didn't do justice to what was going on there. We've got an electronic lock that is locked for 10, which is pathetic. Absolutely ridiculous. Right there. And yes, we're gonna probably murder everybody because this is gonna open a can of worms. It is not? Maybe, well, who knows? Anyway, we have a trapdoor right there. Some vents on the floor. And on this side we have it's a dungeon. It's just a place where I suppose they sleep? They don't sleep by their campfire? I don't know. I don't know hobo, basically. Is it hobo? I think it is. Yeah, basically there's a culture of homeless people. In different countries, that culture is probably different. But still, because they need to stick together for survival, basically. There are things that are basically common knowledge among homeless people, and how to sleep better is probably a very important thing. Other things like what foods are best, and things like what cheap and filling foods and other stuff like that. I've heard something. Oh, that's a flash. No, I don't need the flashbang. I've heard some things about that. We got ventilation shafts, or the things that I keep talking about. Ooh, and a monster sketch. It's a sketch of some sort of semi-amorphous tentacle monster crawling out of some manner of container. It's 3 experience points. That's lovely. I do have, ooh, look at that over here. I do have my notebook ready, so I can level up at any moment, which is good. A small piece of paper has Evelyn in 76543 written on it. It's actually 76543. Yeah, I'll take that. That's probably quest related. And there's a personal computer over there. And a ventilation shaft past this ventilation duct. No, the duct is the shaft. Dang it. I never remember. I just came up with the correct term the other time, and then I forget. Welcome, Evelyn Ingram. Ingram? I think I know this name from elsewhere. Please enter your password. I can also hack it, no problem. Papyrus containing the incantations to preserve its black seeds of vengeance against heretics from Sebek, who is in the underworld. Let me in, you stupid piece of trash. Carry rocks. Let's hack. Might as well. Welcome, Evelyn Ingram. Please select one of the following options. Let's see. Dear Diary, this is so silly. I don't even know why I'm writing this. I suppose with Michael spending all his free time working on his damn bunker, I too need something to do to pass the time. Better than wasting it with my boring neighbors, duh. I don't know what to write, so I'll call it a day for now. Evelyn. Yep, he's down there again. He made me swear I won't tell anyone about it. Who does he think I am? Some blabbermouth? I don't even socialize that much, so he doesn't have to worry at all. But I understand him. I mean, you know, he's been worried about this cohort short thing, whatever it's called, and he just wants what's best for the two of us. Gotta go. He's back. This diary thing isn't bad after all. Not now that I think about it. Ugly? No, not ugly. Ugh. Why? Why is he doing this to me? I had another argument with him. I told him I'm tired of not ever seeing him and that I'm bored to death. If I go down there, I'm disturbing him. Quote, oh, Evelyn, sweetie, this is important, blah, 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 short, unquote. Go to hell, Michael. You're the only one in Foundry who's obsessed with that. It's not going to happen. Please spend some time with me. I simply don't fit in with the rest of the Foundry. The Parkers are boring. The Stevensons are depressing. The Greenwalds, no comment on the Greenwalds. I'm just sad here. Maybe I should have listened to my mother and stayed in this, which is a city, D-I-S. I better go lie down. It's me again, diary. I have decided to continue writing after his death, so the entries later. It's strange, but this diary thing seems so foreign to me, even though it's been, what, a month and a half? It's all upside down in my head. I read my previous entries and what I wrote about Michael. If someone else was reading it, they should have thought I hated them, man. Or they would have thought. But a black hole in my heart said otherwise. I just wanted some attention. He was busy working on this bunker all the time, worried about that stupid short. Funny, even now I don't fully understand what it was all about. I simply trusted him and his judgment. The bunker is beautiful too, although now I spend even more time here than upstairs, especially because the ventilation system keeps the air so clean and fresh. Going back up causes me to cough instantly. I'm still barely talking to people. The whole Foundry was there on funeral day, and I swear nearly everyone said at one point or the other, if you need anything, Evelyn, we're here for you. Tomorrow, and that's a quote, tomorrow not a single soul in sight. Typical. Tomorrow, or you mean the next day? The next day. Well, this is informal, so it would work like that as well. I suppose we can understand what she's trying to say. Typical. Well, that's all for now. I better find something to do. Life has become living hell. Being alone is not working out for me, go figure. I simply can't take it anymore. I'm too young and can't be stuck on this block of concrete for the rest of my life. I need company. I really need someone to hug me again. Michael, I hope you forgive me. I love you. Jeremy left me today. That was 2 months after. When I first met him, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. He made me laugh. He made me happy. He made me forget. I thought he was the right one to pull me out. But today he told me we're breaking up. To tell the truth, he said something about me being a recluse, depressive, or whatever. At some point, I just stopped listening. I had to. I felt betrayed, infuriated. I felt like I was about to explode, and I felt the urge to grab a knife, and so I did. I'm going to lie down now. I feel tired. It's Evelyn again. This is probably the year after or something. Just came to tell you I got another one. Man, they're all the same. Haha. They always fall for a sad, lonely widow. Widow? Sure. I'm sure. Especially being... She's young? Sure, they will fall for that. You wouldn't be a widow if you don't have marriage. Right? I mean... Sure. Does it work that way? I don't know how it works. Anyway. Lonely widow that needs a new man in her life. Oh, I told him that he wanted to hear what he wanted to hear and puppeteered him into my bedroom. I got him naked. His eyes were like fires. Tied the naive bastard to the bed. And then I pulled out a knife and stabbed him right through his right eye. Fire extinguished. He wasn't expecting that, ha ha ha. He was squirming as I pushed the knife through his eye and into his brain, finally ending his miserable life. So much fun. A little messy, but I'll just dump his body with the rest, with all the fuss about the Rockies killing people, and no one will suspect me. A poor, lonely widow. Postscriptum, I think his name was Jimmy or something. Tommy was a sweet young man, really handsome, and I do mean handsome. he was just passing through the foundry like most of them. We had so much fun today. Well, at least I had. He was the one screaming most of the time. That is while he still had his lower jaw attached, because apparently he screamed with the jaw. I still, well, maybe he died after he didn't. I still remember the terrified look in his eyes when I showed him my trusty meat cleaver. Then I started cutting, slash, just like Messer butchers his pigs. Made a terrible mess, though, as I got carried away a bit. Whoopsie, there was blood and body parts all over the place, and the stench was strong. Oh well, it's all clean now and ready for my next toy. Haha, I should take some rest. Killing men is pretty damn tiring. Aha. Until next time, dear diary. Oh, and that's that. I can download it to a flash drive. All the things? Ooh, that's interesting. And we have games. We can play Underrail. Yes. Yes, we will play Underrail. We'll continue playing Underrail in the next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Underrail. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.